Pope Leo XIV calls for courageous, humble leadership to build a civilization of love. Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee reports progress in Chidima plane crash investigation as key evidence emerges. Malawi Electoral Commission commits to inclusive reforms after 2025 election review. And in our exclusive report this week, as Malawi joins the rest of the world in marking Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this June, Tandiwe Mzumara highlights the silent crisis affecting men across the country. We have more stories coming up. Stay with us. Pope Leo XIV on Friday called for courage and humility in leadership as essential foundations for building a civilization of love as he addressed participants in the first edition of the Borgo Laudato Si dialogues held at Castel Gandolfo. The two-day meeting brought together experts, leaders, and practitioners.
Artificial intelligence and its impact on human dignity, environmental sustainability, healthy aging, and sports diplomacy. The initiative forms part of a broader mission of Borgo Laudato Si, a center for integral ecology located within the papal villas of Castel Gandolfo. Inspired by Pope Francis's 2015 encyclical Laudato Si, the center seeks to promote dialogue and concrete action aimed at fostering ecological, social, and economic renewal. In his address at the conclusion of the gathering, the Holy Father described the meeting as the first step of a process aimed at reimagining moral leadership in a world he said appears increasingly fragmented and detached from its historical roots. He emphasized the importance of dialogue in confronting contemporary challenges and promoting the common good and the dignity of every person. Pope Leo warned against what he termed a growing spiritual and cultural blindness, cautioning that society risks becoming disconnected from its past. He also criticized a false pragmatism that disregards history, noting that even those who appeal to moral principles may fall into a form of historical nihilism, underestimating the possibility of past tragedies being repeated. Concluding his remarks, Pope Leo stressed that such a civilization is not built through extraordinary gestures, but through daily acts of fidelity and care. He expressed hope that the process initiated at Castel Gandolfo would continue to inspire future encounters and concrete efforts toward a more humane and united world.
Chairperson of the Ad Hoc Parliamentary Committee investigating the military plane crash that claimed the lives of former Vice President Dr. Saulos Klaus Chilima and 8 others, Walter Nyamilandu, says the inquiry is making steady progress, with the committee obtaining critical information from witnesses appearing before it. Speaking to journalists on Friday after a session of witnesses in Lilongwe, Nyamilandu said the committee has made significant strides since commencing hearings on Monday, despite facing some challenges in obtaining information. Chaidish Langa has filed this report.
Nyamilandu said 3 witnesses appeared before the committee on Friday as scheduled, while those who did not attend remain on the committee's list and will be followed up. He said although some witnesses have been reluctant to provide information, the committee has managed to obtain the information it is seeking through various means. Nyamilando further indicated that the committee remains open to summoning additional witnesses as new leads emerge during the inquiry process.
Call upon any new witnesses that will emerge. There are always emerging issues. When we speak to witnesses, they're leading us to other officers that were directly involved but were not listed, or maybe that knew something about it. And our list is not fixed.
Among the key witnesses who appeared before the committee on Friday was former Principal Secretary responsible for foreign relations, Maiwao Polepole, who told the inquiry that under normal circumstances, the office of the Vice President was responsible for arranging the Vice President's travel, adding that on June 10, 2024, he was in the Bahamas leading an advance team ahead of President Lazarus Chakwera's visit to attend the Afrexim Bank annual meetings and related events.
Lapkin was in the same plane. The reason why he was found there was to provide, protocol services to the elected Vice President. So that's what I explained, because there were questions on me. What about maybe the manifest, what was done during the arrangement?
Earlier, the committee held testimony from former Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Defense, James Chiusiwa, who said he was not involved in planning or making arrangements for the late Vice President's trip to Nzuzu for the funeral of lawyer Ralph Kasambala. Chiusiwa told the inquiry that he played no direct role in the organization, coordination, or logistical preparations surrounding the trip. He further clarified that the Ministry of Defense does not have authority over the operation use of assets belonging to the Malawi Defense Force, saying decisions regarding the deployment of military aircraft fall within the command structures of the Defense Force. He also told the committee that he followed developments surrounding aircraft's disappearance through media reports after news of the missing plane emerged.
The Malawi Electoral Commission says it is encouraged by the feedback received from various stakeholders following the 2025 general elections and remains committed to improving future electoral processes. MEG Chairperson Annabel Ntalimanja made the remarks in Lilongwe during a post-election engagement meeting with civil society organizations. The meeting was aimed at reviewing the conduct of the elections and collecting stakeholders' views on the overall electoral process. Alison Banda has filed this report.
Ntalimanja described the feedback as constructive, saying it will help the Commission to strengthen electoral management and address challenges identified during the elections. She said the engagement also focused on promoting gender equality and increasing women's participation in politics, especially as the country prepares for by-elections scheduled 30th June. According to Ntalimanja, MEC remains committed to conducting inclusive, transparent, and credible elections while working closely with stakeholders to implement reforms that will enhance public confidence in the electoral system.
The CSOs on inclusion and gender participation is very crucial to the review process. As you know, part of the values of the Commission is to ensure that women, the youth, and persons with disabilities are also given meaning.
Speaking during the meeting, Fatima Muhammad, a country representative for UN Women, commended MEC for involving a wide range of stakeholders, particularly gender-focused civil society organizations, in the post-election review process. Muhammad said such engagements are essential in identifying barriers that hinder women's political participation and representation.
Yes, particularly this workshop is engaging the civil society organizations to look at the whole process, electoral cycle, particularly focusing on the gender issues and issues.
In her remarks, Magika Banda, chairperson for NGO Gender Coordination Network, said the meeting provides opportunity to assess how gender responsive the 2025 general elections were, while highlighting key strengths challenges and gaps that need to be addressed ahead of the future elections.
To see what went well during the elections from a gender perspective, but also from the perspective of the youth and persons with disabilities, because we take note that there were certain things that were done very well, but also we know that there were also challenges during the processes. So we have brought in different organizations so that we can just sit together.
Stakeholders have welcomed MEC's effort to review 2025 general elections through inclusive consultations, describing the process as an important step towards strengthening Malawi's democracy.
As the world commemorates World Sickle Cell Day, stakeholders have called for increased investment in screening, treatment and management services for people living with sickle cell diseases in the country. Sickle Cell Association chairperson Andy Manyada has raised the concerns amid reports that many patients continue to face difficulties in accessing proper diagnosis, medication and specialized healthcare services. Beautiful Gun has further report read in our studios by Wangan Chira.
Speaking in an interview with Luntha television, Sickle Cell Association chairperson Andy Manyada said Malawi continues to face serious challenges in sickle cell management due to limited screening facilities and shortages of essential drugs, making it difficult for many patients to access timely care. He further appealed to government to invest more in screening services, treatment and public awareness, while urging communities to stop spreading misinformation and stigma against people living with the condition.
The problem that is there is the shortages of drugs. You find that the treatment for sickle cell is an expensive one because the drugs that individuals took, they are very expensive. For a dose, it's approximately 500,000 or so, of which not each and every Malawian can manage to get this treatment. And you only find this treatment in 2 central hospitals here in Malawi. And sometimes also you find that even in those central hospitals, the drugs are not there. So the drug problem, it's also a huge challenge that we are facing as Sickle Cell Association.
Concurring with Manyada's sentiments, Malawi Health Equity Network Executive Director George Jobe has called for increased funding towards sickle cell programs, including early screening, availability of medication, and greater awareness among families and communities.
Early detection is very important, which means that as a nation, we need to have more resources. Even in the health budget, there should be resources or funds restricted towards sickle cell disease so that medication is available. There's need for antibiotics and alike. Those who get screened early get the treatment.
Health advocates say strengthening early diagnosis, treatment access, and public awareness will play a critical role in improving the quality of life for people living with sickle cell disease in Malawi. For Luntha Television, this is Wongani Chirwa.
You are still watching news on Luntha Television. We'll be back after this break. Pope Leo the 14th calls for
Jina langa ndi Thandi Chisil, Miss Malawi 2025. Paka nalibano dziko la Malawi lakumana ndi mulili wa polio. Polio ndi matenda opsa omwe angayambitse kufoka kwa thupi, ulumali wa moyo wonse kapenanso imfa. Anthu tonse tikuyitanidwa kuti titeteze moyo ndi kusamalira thanzi la mabanja ndi madera athu. unduna wa zaumoyo ndi ukhondo wakonza kampeni yopereka katemera wa polio kwa ana omwe sanakwanitse zaka 10. Ndikulimbikitsa makolo ndi osamalira ana onse chonde tengani ana anu kuti alandire katemera wa polio ulendo uliwonse pamene kampeni ikuchitika. Katemera ndi otetezeka, othandiza ndipo ndi waulere. Amathandiza kuteteza ana athu komanso kuletsa kufalikira kwa matenda m'madera athu. Katemerayu adzaperekedwa kudzera mu kuyendera khomo ndi khomo, m'masukulu, kuphatikizapo masukulu a mkombaphala, kuzipatala, komanso kudzera mwa magulu oyendera madera athu. Kuteteza ana athu ndi udindo wa tonsefe. Tiyeni tikhale achikhulupiriro komanso anzeru kugwiritsa ntchito chitetezo chomwe chikuperekedwa kwa ife.
Welcome back. Before we proceed with our news, let's have another look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV calls for courageous, humble leadership to build a civilization of love. Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee reports progress in Chilima plane crash investigation as key evidence emerges. Malawi Electoral Commission commits to inclusive reforms after 2025 election review. And in our exclusive report this week, as Malawi joins the rest of the world in marking Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this June, Tandiwe Mzumara highlights the silent crisis affecting men across the country. Moving forward, a total of 132 from 4 students at Likoni Girls Secondary School have held their farewell celebrations, marking the end of their secondary school journey as they prepare to sit for their Malawi School Certificate of Education, final examinations, and transition to the next stage of their lives. Speaking during the farewell function, the guest of honor, Father David Nwagaba, who is the director of Luntha Television, encouraged the students to remain focused and work hard in their studies as they prepare for their examinations. Padre Pupa has filed this report.
Father David Nwagaba reminded them that success comes through dedication, discipline, and perseverance, urging them to make good use of the remaining time before their exams. Father Nwagaba also advised the students to uphold the values and knowledge they have acquired during their time at the institutions, stressing the importance of integrity, responsibility, and commitment in shaping a bright future.
My message to the girls who are finishing Form 4 and they are going into universities, my word is that they work hard. I always emphasize to them 3 key things that make a happy and successful person: God, hard work, and discipline. Likuni Girls Secondary School has always been one of the best schools. As we know that Catholic schools have been a flag bearer in this country, and as such, this is a word to the girls. They are in the best school in the country, and as such, as they prepare to do their final exams, my word is they should not be scared. The exams come, and there are things they have been studying. Being in one of the best schools, I hope for the best.
In her remarks, Sister Amelia Nyendwa, head mistress for Likoni Girls Secondary School, expressed pride in the graduating class, commending the students for their hard work and resilience throughout their academic journey.
We started the journey 4 years ago with the students who are graduating today in preparation for their exams. And anyway, each year as students graduate, it's a special class because we always expect the best from them. And like them too, we are expecting the best, looking at the way they have been performing in the school.
Speaking on behalf of the students, Vice Head Girl Chimumwe Biasi thanked the school management, teachers, parents and guardians for their unwavering support and guidance throughout their years at Likoni Girls Secondary School.
Well, it has been hectic because I never expected myself to reach this far today. So the journey has been very hectic. You know, we faced a lot of challenges as students. Sometimes you would fail academically and then you rise up again. So just because of the teachers that we have here, we're very grateful for their support that they had given us.
The farewell celebration was characterized by prayers, speeches, and entertainment, and messages of encouragement, creating a memorable occasion for their outgoing students as they prepare for their next chapter of their academic and personal lives. For Luntha News, this is Patrick Pupa.
Nation from the United States has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening the capacity of firefighters and communities in Malawi by equipping them with the knowledge and skills needed to respond effectively to fire emergencies and related accidents. AFM Executive Director and co-founder Mansa Moore made the remarks during an orientation training for firefighters held in Lilongwe. Emmanuel Chocha has filed this report.
In an interview with Luntha Television, Moore said the fire emergencies continue to pose serious risk to lives and properties, prompting the organization to support firefighters across Africa, including those in Malawi. She noted that many firefighters in Malawi face challenges such as inadequate staffing, limited access to modern equipment, and a lack of specialized training.
So as we work here across Malawi, our goal is to train, empower, support, and encourage the firefighters. And what we mean by that is we want to advance the firefighters with their training. As they have more training, regular training, we know that they will be better able to serve their communities.
Chief Fire Officer Gideon Mwanza commended Africa Fire Mission for supporting Malawi fire service sector, saying the training has helped participants gain practical knowledge on how to overcome some of the challenges they face despite limited resources.
Thank you. Africa Fire Mission as a non-governmental organization or non-profit institution based in America, which was established with the sole reason to build capacity in the African fire sector. We really appreciate for that because indeed our countries oversee brigaders, they have very advanced equipment, knowledge, and even that support their work for the providers.
Representing the aviation sector, Chief Fire Officer at Kamuzu International Airport, Gift Zinyadankwenda, said the training has strengthened cooperation between aviation firefighters and local councils who often work together during emergencies.
The aviation sector will receive this news with a great honor because each and every year, whenever these trainings are being held in African Fire Mission, as well as the City Brigade, they always call us and they always participate in these trainings. So they are beneficial to us because we work hand in hand. When they need a hand from our side, we do help. So we take this one as an opportunity so that we can link up and in terms of coordination, we can perform and do the works accordingly together.
One of the participants, Sherifun Nani, from Lilongwe City Council, said the training has improved his understanding on the fire emergency response and community engagement in preventing fire-related incidents. Africa Fire Mission was established in 2012 to support and equip firefighters across Africa, where many emergency responders operate under challenging conditions. The training attracted firefighters from Lilongwe City Council, Mzuzu City Council, Kasungu Municipal Council, Civil Aviation, and the Malawi Defense Force. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, this is Emmanuel Chocha.
As Malawi joins the rest of the world in marking Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this June, mental health experts are raising concern over what many describe as silent crises affecting men across the country. Behind the image of strength, often associated with masculinity, lies a growing number of men grappling with stress, depression, anxiety, and other mental health challenges, often without seeking help. Limited access to mental health information and services continue to leave many men in rural Malawi without the support they need to cope with emotional and psychological challenges. In our exclusive report this week, Itandrim Zumara highlights how this silent crisis is slowly eating at men amid a concerning rise in suicide cases.
Observed every June, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month is dedicated to breaking the stigma surrounding men's emotions, challenging traditional views of masculinity, and encouraging men to seek help for issues such as depression, anxiety, and stress. Although Malawi's population comprises slightly more females than males at 51.2% and 48.8% respectively, the Malawi Police Service records more suicide cases among men than women each year. According to mental health activist Robert Kalua of the Men Talk podcast, the pressure to provide for families amid rising living costs, unemployment, and economic uncertainty has become overwhelming for many men.
There's a gap, from people that live in hard-to-reach areas. We know that in Malawi, only a very small percentage have access to the internet and also television.
National Chairperson of Men for Gender Equality Now, Megan Marcel Chisi, notes that cultural expectations that men should remain strong and emotionally resilient continue to discourage open conversations about mental well-being.
There is a lot of expectation in our culture for men to deliver. So if you are a man and you marry, much as you may marry an intelligent woman, she's working, she's earning money, but our society would prefer that the man is seen to be earning. And yet the situation on the ground is such that the opportunities are still relatively fewer for everyone to have equal access.
Societal expectations surrounding masculinity are also contributing to the problem. From an early age, boys are often taught to suppress their emotions and endure hardship without complaint. Male empowerment advocate Mandike Katende, who overcame depression, says opening up about personal struggles is a sign of strength and can help individuals become more creative and productive.
First of all, I had to know how other men define mental health from their own perspective. And I've gained knowledge that mental health isn't just something that we should underrate. Mostly seeing men who also face the mental issues in Malawi. Mental issues, not outlining it as if it's missile or something, but then mentally men also face things that contribute to each and every day of their life.
Recent statistics show that men account for the majority of mental health admissions at Zomba Mental Hospital, a trend that aligns with police data indicating that high levels of suicide and underreporting of gender-based violence among males. Director General of Zomba Mental Hospital, Dr. Raphael Biyengo, says that although the number of new admissions has declined, cases of readmission continue to rise, with men accounting for a larger proportion than women.
Out of the admissions, we had over 1,600 something men and 505 women. So you can see that around 75% admissions are men compared to the 5% women.
Health experts are calling for an end to misconceptions surrounding mental illness, which continue to persist in many communities and discourage people from seeking professional support. St. John of God Hospitaller Services Programs Manager, Dr. Mwawi Ngoma, has called for the normalization of mental health conditions and the creation of safe spaces where affected individuals can openly discuss their struggles.
To collaborate as a nation, so the government, civil society organizations, community leaders, in trying to indeed create avenues where men can go. Sometimes it can just be community groups where men can come together and talk about the issues that they go through, because it's not each and every challenge that will require them to go to the hospital.
Mayor of Luntha, Isaac Jomo Osman, has urged men to speak openly about their struggles and called for greater support and awareness of men's mental health, saying the challenges men face deserve equal attention alongside those affecting women.
Due to lack of awareness, people don't know that they have problems, they have issues, and also people don't know that they can seek help, and people don't know how best to help each other.
While awareness of mental health issues has improved in recent years, access to services remains a challenge. The Auxiliary Bishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Lilongwe, His Lordship Vincent Makwawa, has reaffirmed the Church's commitment to reaching marginalized rural communities facing mental health challenges.
Spaces for men also requires changing how we talk about masculinity. We need also to normalize conversations about mental health in families, in workplaces, and also in schools. We talk about faith communities and also social settings, because men should be encouraged to speak and also to seek support without being labeled weak or incapable.
Mental health advocacy organization Sorry I'm Not Sorry is calling for increased public awareness, expanded counseling services, and the integration of mental health care into primary health care facilities. Deputy Country Director of the organization, Thokozile Kadango, says the organization has already begun implementing programs aimed at encouraging men to seek support and prioritize their well-being.
It is really paramount that they are involved and they are taken on board in terms of teaching them and giving them the right information when it comes to service provision of mental health services. So,
the Physician Associates Union of Malawi, PAUM, is currently implementing a mental health awareness campaign aimed at addressing mental health challenges among adolescents and young people, with a focus on strengthening mental health education in schools.
We are looking at all across all districts how to engage community, promote awareness in terms of issues to do with men. We know some of the gaps that are there for men. They take too long to seek help, both whether in the issues of economic challenges or just in general, health issues, social issues. So the more we do these things, the more we attend to these challenges, the gaps that we know, the better it will be for society.
Executive Director for the Agency for Scientific Research and Training, Matilda Montali, says the organization plans to collaborate with various partners and engage community radio stations to deliver mental health messages to men in rural areas.
We are looking at all across all districts how to engage community, promote awareness in terms of issues to do with men. We know some of the gaps that are there for men. They take too long to seek help, both whether in the issues of economic challenges or just in general, health issues, social issues. So the more we do these things, the more we attend to these challenges, the gaps that we know, the better it will be for society.
As Malawi marks Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, the message from experts is clear. Mental health matters for everyone, and men should not have to suffer in silence. Behind every strong face may be a man carrying a burden that no one else can see.
We now give you the weather update by Tapiwa Kodagumoto.
Good evening, and it's time for weather forecast. Cold conditions were experienced over most areas this morning, with Mulanje Mountain reporting the coldest at 6 degrees Celsius, followed by Nyika in Rumpi, Kamuzu International Airport, and Malingunde in Lilongwe, which reported 7 degrees Celsius. We are currently expecting partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas, accompanied by cold temperatures, especially at night and during morning hours. We Windy conditions will also continue brewing over most areas, especially over the central and the northern part of the country. Mwela winds with speed of at least 40 km per hour will also continue brewing over our lake water bodies such as Lake Malawi and Lake Chirwa. Hence, we are still advising all lake users, including fishermen, to continue being very observant. This is all due to the influence of this high pressure system, which is still pumping in moist and cool southeasterlies into the country, influencing partly cloudy conditions, cloudy in some areas, as well as strong Mwela winds. Tonight, we should therefore expect partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas in the southern part of the country, the central as well as the northern part, accompanied by windy conditions as well as cold temperatures. Similar conditions are also expected tomorrow in the morning hours, accompanied by fog patches in some areas, especially over the highlands and the valleys. Temperatures will also still feel cold tomorrow in the morning over most areas in the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country, but mild conditions are expected in some areas such as Ngabu, Nsanje and Mangoshi at 18 degrees Celsius. Looking into the afternoon hours, we should expect partly cloudy conditions to persist over the southern part of the country, the central as well as the northern part of the country, even though cloudy conditions may appear in some areas over the central and the north. We are also expecting windy conditions to persist over most areas. Temperatures will feel hot tomorrow in the afternoon over some areas such as Ngabu, Nsanje and Karonga at around 28 degrees Celsius, but generally warm conditions are expected to persist over the south, the central as well as the northern part of the country. Looking into Sunday, we should expect partly cloudy conditions to persist over most areas, accompanied by isolated rain showers over some areas in the south as well as the north. I'm Tepwa Kurakumoto. Be wise, be weatherwise.
That concludes our today's news bulletin. Before we go, another look at the headlines. Pope Leo XIV calls for courageous, humble leadership to build a civilization of love. Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee reports progress in Chidima plane crash investigation as key evidence emerges. Malawi Electoral Commission commits to inclusive reforms after 2025 election review. And in our exclusive report this week, as Malawi joins the rest of the world in marking Men's Mental Health Awareness Month this June, Tandiwe Mzumara highlights the silent crisis affecting men across the country. My name is Fales Chizombe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend and goodbye for now.
Dzina langa ndi Thandi Chisil, Miss Malawi 2025. Paka nali pano dziko la Malawi lakumana ndi muliri wa polio. Polio ndi matenda opsa omwe angayambitse kufoka kwa thupi, ulumali wa moyo wonse kapenanso imfa. Anthu tonse tikuyitanidwa kuti titeteze moyo ndi kusamalira thanzi la mabanja ndi madera athu. Unduna wa zaumoyo ndi ukhondo wakonza kampeni yopereka katemera wa polio kwa ana omwe sanakwanitse zaka 10. Ndikulimbikitsa makolo ndi osamalira ana onse. Chonde, tengani ana anu kuti alandire katemera wa polio ulendo uliwonse pamene kampeni ikuchitika. Katemera ndi otetezeka, othandiza ndipo ndi waulere. Amathandiza kuteteza ana athu komanso kuletsa kufalikira kwa matenda m'madera athu. Katemerayu adzaperekedwa kudzera mu kuyendera khomo ndi khomo m'masukulu, kuphatikizapo m'masukulu a Nkombaphala, kuzipatala, komanso kudzera mwa magulu oyendera madera athu. Kuteteza ana athu ndi udindo wa tonsefe. Tiyeni tikhale achikhulupiriro komanso anzeru kugwiritsa ntchito chitetezo chomwe chikuperekedwa kwa ife.
Holy words long preserved for our walk in this world, they resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart words of life, words of hope. Give us strength, help us cope in this world where'er we roam. Ancient words will guide us home. Ancient words ever true, changing me and changing you. We have come with open hearts. Oh, let the ancient words holy words of our faith handed down to this age came to us through sacrifice. Oh, heed the faithful words of Christ. Holy words long preserved.
Luntha TV is now on Zuku Channel 51. You can get yourself a Zuku decoder from the Luntha TV offices in Area 2, Lilongwe, and from all the St. Manford bookshops across the country in Kasungu, Lilongwe, Salima, Dedza, Balaka, Zomba, Mulanje, Blantyre, Chikwawa, Mwanza, and Mangochi. For more information, contact 0883 815 055 or 0996 892 965. Get a Zuku decoder today and not miss daily mass, worship and prayers, news bulletins, and so much more on Luntha TV, bringing wisdom into your home.
Ndikulandireni mu programu ya lero, programu ya Luntha Exclusive, nthawi yomwe timakubweretserani adindo osiyanasiyana. Lero takubweretserani wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko lino, haona Madam Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah. Tikufuna kuti mwina ticheze nawo kuti pano patha pafupifupi miyezi 5 chilowereni mu ofisi ya wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko. Tikufuna tione kuti ntchito ayiyamba bwanji. Ine ndi Bridget Mwanoka, ndikupempheni kuti tikhale limodzi mu programu yathu ya lero ya Luntha Exclusive. Haona sindikudziwa kuti muli bwanji.
Ine ndili bwino.
Iyayi ifenso tili bwino. Mwina poyamba penipeni timafuna kudziwa nawo kuti tsopano kwatha miyezi pafupifupi 8 chilowereni mu ofisi yanu ya wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko lino. Ntchito mwayamba bwanji?
Inetu ntchito ndinayamba bwino, komanso ntchito ikuyenda bwino.
Chabwino, mwina ma priorities amene zinthu zofunikira zomwe mwagwira mutatenga ofisi imene ndi ziti?
Nthawi imene ndinalowa mu ofisi panali maudindo awiri, ya reform ya disaster ya Dodma. Nditalowa mu ofisi ndinayamba kugwira ntchito. Ngati ya reform ndinayitanitsa ma department ena ndi ena, nayitanitsa choyamba report kuti ndione kuti kodi anzanga amene analipo ntchito anagwira analekezera pati, ndine ndiyambire pati. Ndi ripoti itabwera nayamba kugwira ntchito ndi ripotiyo. Nthawi imeneyoyo ndinayamba kuitana ma ministry ndi ma department osiyanasiyana. Amene nayamba kuayitana anali a immigration kuti ndimvetsetse kuti kodi chimene chikuchitika ku immigration ndi zotani. Komanso nthawi imeneyo ndinali ndika video clip ka ku immigration kamene kanaonetsa china chake chosakhala bwino chikuchitika, ndipo ndinachita share ndi a minister of homeland affairs komanso ndi wonse amene anali pamene. Ndinayitananso a road traffic kuti ndidziwe kuti kodi zimakhala bwanji kuti ma driving license azitenga nthawi yayitali. Komanso ku road traffic ndi ku immigration pamakhala ma middlemen. Kodi ma middlemen iwa amachokera kuti ndipo ntchito yawo ndiyotani ndipo amagwira zotani. Titamvetsetsa tidagwirizana kunena kuti inde zinthu ziyenera kusintha. Ma middlemen asamakhalepo, anthu asamakhale nthawi yayitali asadalandire passport, asanalandire driving license. Komanso ndidayitana ma office ena, komanso nakhala ndi ndondomeko yonena kuti ndionetsetse kunena kuti tione mboma kuti zinthu ziyende bwino monga mmene a president amafunira. Kunena kuti zinthu they must be prompt and timely service delivery.
Chabwino ndiyetu kukamba za miyezi 8 ndi yambiri. Simunakumaneko ndi zotsamwitsa zina zake.
Miyezi 8 ndi yambiri. Ine ntchito ndikugwira bwino mukudziwa kuti office ya VP ndi ya delegated responsibilities. Ma responsibility amene anandipatsa ndinachita, ndachita achieve, napanga mukudziwa napita ku Angola kukachita represent a president, komanso kawiri ndinapanga chair troika ya kumene a president ala chair troika. Zimene amandipatsa ndinachita ndipo ndagwira ntchito yopindula ya Malawi.
Chabwino aona ndimafuna kudziwa nawo kuti mungaufotokoze bwanji ubale wanu komanso ndi mtsogoleri wa dziko lino.
Mmene ndingafotokozere ubale wanga ndatsogolera dziko lino ndiwa uli bwino. Chifukwa ine mukudziwa ndagwira mboma, ndagwira ku khoti, ndagwiranso mmene mu executive. Nthawi zambiri kuti zinthu mgwirizano zikhala ndi mabwana timagwiritsa ntchito mamemo. Ine china chilichonse chimene ndimapanga ndimalemba memo kwa president. Kaya mwaona ndakumana ndi anthu akutchalichi, ndakumana ndi azimayi aja anabwera, kukabwera akazembe amaiko osiyanasiyana, ndimalemba memo. Ine chilowereni mu office mwina mamemo amene ndimalembera akwana 7. Olo last week yomweyi ndatumiza memo pa meeting imene ndinali nayo. Ndiye ngati ine mamemo ndikupititsa komanso response mabwera, ubale wanga uli bwino.
Nongo kunjako kunena kuti pali kusagwirizana pakhala ngati kuti pali mkoke pakati pa inu komanso ndi mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. Izi ndizoona.
Koditu manong'onong'o amafika chifukwa anthu amaona zinthu ndiponso amaziona kuziita interpret. Ine nditha kunena kuti nkhani imeneyi anthu amangajaji okha. Nanga kodi maso amalawi ngotseka? Amalawi sali momuno amaona zinthu mmene zikuchitira nawonso ali ndi ma expectation yawo, ndiye ngati pali manong'onong'o ine sindingaletse manong'onong'o, anthu anong'one ndithu aganize mmene angaganizire, ndiye zikatero ine koma ndikudziwa kunena kuti mamemo akupita, ma response ndimalandira.
Kumanenanso kunena kuti pali ntchito zina zomwe mutalowa mboma munkagwira, kunena kuti mtsogoleri wa dziko lino anakupatsani kuti ngati a vice president anga muzigwira izi, koma pakadali pano anadzichotsa ku ofesi kwanu kupititsa maofesi ena. Mwina pa nkhani imeneyi ndemanga yanu ndi yotani?
Choyamba ndichonena kuti timvetsetsane. Ofesi ya VP ku Malawi kuno ilibe zichito malingana ndi mmene inalembedwera mu constitution, koma tikuona ku Ghana ofesi ya president ya vice president ili ndi zintchito zake. Ndiye ofesi ya vice president ku Malawi imatengera a president kukupatsa ntchito. Ine ntchito zimene anandipatsa ndinagwira, Dodima ndinagwira. Dodima tu munandifunsa kuti kodi miyezi 8 ndapanga chiyani. Dodima ili ndi magawo 4. Pali preparedness. Preparedness akuti kukonzekera. Pakukonzekera paja palinso prevention. Kuonetsa kuna kuti ndeti kukonzekera kuti kodi kutabwera zovuta zadzidzidzi tipanga bwanji. Komanso timaonanso kuti inde kuti zovuta zadzidzidzi zisatipeze, kodi anthu atakonzeketse motani kuti iwo apewe zimene zisabwere. Ntchito imeneyi munandiona ndinapita naenda kwambiri, ndinapita ku Nsanje, ndinapita ku warehouse, tinakaona kuti kodi zitatigwera zadzidzidzi ife ndife okonzeka kuti tiyathandiza anthu. Tinaona kuti zambiri tinali nazo, zimene zinali zotsalira tinawuza kuti muonetsetse mvula isanafike pachimake tione kuti zinthu zapanga. Komanso nthawi imeneyo ndimawuza anthu kuna kuti amene muli kumalo onena kuti kumabwera mafuladi, chokani mukakhale kumtunda, kunena kuti musunge moyo komanso chuma katundu wanu amene alipo. Imeneyo ndiye preparedness ndi prevention. Ndiye pamene kunadzabwera kuti kuli zovuta zogwa mwadzidzidzi, ine nali nditapita pa holiday. Nali nditapita pa holiday ku UK. Holiday yanga ndikuze ndinachita apply kwa president mu November. A president anandilola kuti ine ndipite ku holiday, kunena kuti ndikatani chifana ngobwera udzapanga kampeni koma ndikatenge katundu wanga ndibwere. Ndiye inali holiday yanga. Chimene anthu anadzanena kuti private visit, inde holiday ndi private visit. Then motsogozedwa ndikuti a president anandilola ine ndipite ku UK, ndinapita. Komanso zinadzangochiti kuti nthawi yomweyo pa 5 January akunyumba kwanga anali kuti alandire thandizo kuchipatala limene ndinayenera kuti ndikakhale. Koma ndinapita okonzekera chifukwa zonse za ntchito za maofesi makamakaso za ku Dodima zinali ntakonza kale zili tayali. Pamene zadzidzidzi zinagwa kuno ndimagwira ntchito ndi a commission. Kumene kuzili bwanji, kodi ujeni kukafikira anthu amene ali pa mavuto tipeza bwanji. Kumene kukutakota mudziwa kunavuta, panali ndithu kamudzikena kamene kanangozungulidwa ndi madzi, misewu itaduka, tinafunira kuwafikira ame amene anabwera ndi maboti. Zonsezo ndimatsata. Zina timapanga pa WhatsApp ya kamera, ina kuyankhulana, komanso malipoti nthawi yomweyo ndimalemba kutumizira a president. Ndiye ntchito zimene napatsidwa ndinachita ndipo ndikuchitabe kuti a president kuti akandituma nditha kupita.
Ndiye mwina ena nkumadabwera kuti tsono kukuchoserani ntchito zimene zisimire mwezi kupangitsa manong'ono kuti mwina Amalawi adziyankhula.
Nanga kodi amene ndingakhe ndine inetu ntchito ya UVP imadikira president. Ndiye ngati a president sakundipatsa ntchito a president ali ndi ufulu oganiza kunena kuti ndipatse ntchito uyu ndipatse ntchito uyu ndipatse ntchito uyu.
Chabwino unafotokozaponso zokuti mumatha kutumiza mamemo amene ntchito zikuyendera. Mwina kungowunikirako, how often do you engage the president?
Every meeting imene ndimakhala nayo ndimatumiza mamemo.